Hello everyone, my name is Flair Bliss and welcome back to Aquadine. Studying hall eventually comes after another class period. With nothing better to do, Robin walks into the library with a foul mood. Good, barely anyone in here. I can finally take a nap. Robin's tired body crumbles over an empty table. As he tries to sleep, he's reminded of the events that occurred the night before. Yes, in the underwater city. I never thought mermaids actually existed. Always thought it was just a myth. But after seeing one in person, I'm convinced that they're real. And that dream? Whose voice was that, and why did I see ancient Aquadine? I have so many questions, yet no answers. Abandoning his plan to sleep through the period, Robin follows his curiosity and decides to look around the bookshelves. The school's library actually has more books on merfolk mythology than most libraries in the world. Our school's founder was not only a wealthy man, but a firm believer of ancient Aquadine as well. He collected all sorts of related books in hopes to educate or convert his students. I prefer the word educate rather than convert. The only issue is deciphering whether a document is reliable or not, especially without any physical evidence, even though that's been a problem for centuries. There are still a handful of believers that support the merfolk existence. Robin walks past a few shelves until one book, titled Mythology of the Merfolk Civilization, catches his eye. He reads a few pages. This seems like it'll be worth a read. Guess I'll just check it out. As he walks over to the front desk, Robin tips over his shoelace and loses balance. So dear mate, you should always remember to tie your shoelaces. Whoa! A girl with straight black hair who is sitting at a nearby table sees a book over the marble floor and picks it up.
Wow.
Here. Anya, hello again. Hopefully Diana is not giving you too many issues. As Anya returns it to Robin, she notices it's a book about merfolk and is taken back.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. Merfolk? Yeah. I just felt like reading up on Aquadine's history, but it's still debatable whether they actually exist or not. I see. Without wasting another word, Anya flips her hair and walks away. Have I met her before? Is she the mermaid? That's a food for thought. Later that evening, Zelda guides his customer across a canal. Lit with street lamps on both sides, through the light's reflections he scores gently enough so that one could just barely hear the sound of his oar. It is almost as if a gondola is floating through the indigo sky, surrounded by a swarm of dancing fireflies and jellyfish. Once they finally reach the cloud company, Sel lets his customer off at the dock and bows to her after the tour.
Thank you.
Thank you for choosing the cloud company. Have a good night. It was fun. I'll see you again sometime. Ah. After waving goodbye to her, how they wave goodbye in their universe, he looks towards the shore's direction, curious whether the mermaid will show up again. I'm pretty sure she will. Anya.
Grandpa will speak.
Robin, time to fix dinner. Grandpa is very hungry. I'll be out for a little longer, Grandfather. And stop calling me Robin while I'm out in uniform. You'll blow my cover. You want your grandpa to starve? No, then come inside. Just give me an hour. I want to spend some time alone. Take this lantern and don't be out too late. Thank you, Grandfather. I won't be long. Did you find out who was singing that night?
Don't worry.
Oh, I didn't, but I still want to look around some more. You know who was singing, but you're deciding not to share that bit of information to your granddad. That is very rude of you.
Fine.
Fine, just watch out for sirens. You worry too much, Grandfather. I came back last time, so I'll be fine. That is what they all say, before they disappear. Forever. And ever. And ever. And ever and ever and ever and ever. Here we are again. In this beautiful scenery. Lots of the night sky makes it beautiful too. The lack of sunlight. Except the moonlight, of course. With a lantern attached to the Pharaoh, Cell cautiously guides towards the mystical shore. Once again he sees the ghost-like jellyfish wandering in the sky. These jellyfish are here again, but I don't see the mermaid. She wasn't seen tonight, so maybe she isn't here. After seeing me, I wouldn't be surprised if she never came here again. She seemed afraid of me. But how did she know Mother's song? I'm sure I've never met her until that night. A sudden splash catches Cell off guard. He immediately looks in that direction, but it's still too dark to see. What was that? With his unoccupied hand, Cell swings his rope around the closest tree branch and ties it. After setting foot on rocks, he grabs the lantern and walks around the shore. Are you afraid of me? It's okay. You can trust me, says everyone. Cell points his lantern wherever he could, but he doesn't see anyone nor get a response. It was probably a fish or something. As he turns away, Cell spots someone from the corner of his view. His eyes widen once more. And what would that be? It's the mermaid again! A blue-haired mermaid emerges from the water, unmistakably the same mermaid from before. She's not swimming away this time. Nervous and scared, she stares back at him with her aquamarine eyes. Her arms act as an invisible wall, a sign that she's on her guard. You want to fight me? I've got the entire sea to my advantage. The ocean is one with me. But what do you have? That piddly little boat. No, she's definitely still scared. I'm not entirely sure. But maybe she's a little curious about me, too. About humans.
Could it be?
Are you the mermaid who sang yesterday? She remains silent, but nods cautiously. She understands me. Maybe she could speak too. Maybe she's mute. What is your name? The mermaid doesn't respond. However, she seems more careful about keeping her distance. There has to be something I can do to prove I'm harmless. I really want to learn more about her. To her surprise, Cell offers his hand as a sign of peace. She examines his extended hand, then his smile. The mermaid raises her hand ever so slightly, almost tempted to trust him. However, she pulls back at the last second and immediately swims away in fear. We will get to her one day. That didn't turn up. That was an improvement from yesterday's Cell. Yesterday, she just swam right away, but this time she stayed around, so the third day could be something better. That didn't turn out too well, but maybe we'll meet again one day. As the night sky falls darker, the moonlight glistens over the river and Cell sculls away. Lovely. On the following afternoon, Cell passes by a dark-haired girl who is drawing her sketchbook. Since she's listening to music, she doesn't notice one of her pencils rolling off the case. While Cell walks over to retrieve her, he recognizes the girl from school. However, he pretends he never met her before in order to protect his alias.
Hello.
Excuse me, miss. You dropped your pencil. Thanks. Without sparing another word, Anya accepts the pencil and goes right back to her drawing. Cell, on the other hand, isn't sure whether to keep walking or trying to have a brief conversation with her. However, just as he decides to leave for lunch, Cell notices her sketch on the Bridge of Sorrow.
Interesting.
I'm very impressed by your drawing. Any particular reason why you're drawing the Bridge of Sorrow? Anya looks at Cell for a second before turning back to her drawing. She seems a bit annoyed by the unwanted attention. It's okay, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I was just curious.
Wow.
The carvings depict the tale of a man and a mermaid who fell in love. Isn't this just too coincidental? Like, the past 2 nights we have seen this mermaid. Then the following morning from the first time we saw you in the library, and then you was curious towards us as to why, and I'm going to say this right now, as to why you was curious about Robin learning about merfolk lore, merfolk mythology. And now, you are drawing something that depicts the tale of a man and a mermaid who fell in love. Don't you find that too coincidental? Or am I just overthinking things? My mum used to tell me often before bed, This man here was a young sailor who set out to the sea. Again, that is us. To the sea alone in his small wooden ship. Yeah, us. He wanted to explore the world and learn about all sorts of different creatures. Yes, including mermaids. But one night, a violent storm destroyed the ship and the sailor fell deep into the ocean. For a brief moment, he saw a glimpse of ancient Aquadine before losing consciousness. So the glimpse of our dream was also a glimpse towards future events. I'm sure we can not meet a tragic fate by a violent storm. The wandering mermaid saw the man and the wooden ship submerge, so she quickly swam to his aid. While he woke up, he was surprised to find himself by the shore, but he even more so to see a worried mermaid before him. It was love at first sight.
Thank you.
You know the tale quite well. Thank you for sharing. Well, I already knew the story, but I guess it's nice to hear someone else tell it for once. Yeah, exactly. As a person who works on the boats, I guess you get tired of saying the same story. I guess if you're very, very passionate about the story, you wouldn't get bored of it because you're so passionate by it. After checking the time on the street clock, Anya closes her sketchbook and leaves without saying goodbye. That was abrupt, but whatever. I should probably get going too. What time is it anyway? After checking the time for himself, Sel gets up as well, but the expression he makes is much different from Anya's. Only 20 minutes left before the next appointment. I wasted too much time here. I'm not going to have enough time to get myself a coffee or a brunch. Without a chance to eat, Sel hurries back to the cloud company and notices a girl waiting by the dock. Could she be my customer? I didn't get a chance to check her name on the schedule. The girl notices his presence and slowly faces him. Much to surprise, it's a familiar face. An understatement to say the least. Is it going to be Elizabeth Rhodes?
Could it be?
Elizabeth?
Greetings.
Good afternoon. Shoot, I'm not Robin right now. I need to be more careful about what I say. Exactly, man.
Hello.
It's so nice to finally meet you. Welcome to Aquadine, Miss Rhodes. Hopefully I didn't keep you waiting too long. Not at all. I am still rather early. You're very kind. My name is Sel, and I will be your tour guide for the day.
My.
How nostalgic. It has certainly been a while since I went on a tour.
Interesting.
Ah, so this isn't your first time. Do you remember which company served you in the past? Yes, in fact it was this one. Is that so? In that case, welcome again. Are there any particular sites you would like to visit? Surprise me.
Why, yes.
As you wish. If you would, please follow me to the gondola. Hey. Let's see if we can hold a conversation this time. After helping her onto the gondola, they begin travelling through a canal. Regardless of who he is serving, Sel shows all of his customers the same kindness. I'm really liking this visual novel so far. There's a lack of stories nowadays where, or ones I've witnessed, where it explores two different lives by the same person. In one case, they are this person with this trait and this attribute, whereas the real life version, or their personified version, would be this kind of isolated guy who chooses not to talk to anybody. But if someone really is that confident, then wouldn't Robin be that confident too? But still, it's a very nice side to the whole genre in a way. And I'm really glad the developers have developed this game and are developing the full version of this game too. I really want to play the full version when it comes out.
How are you?
You said you've ridden on a gondola before, right? How'd you like it?
You see.
Let's see. It was not a particular moment or sight that made it so memorable, but the whole experience of exploring a new town. Even as a mere child, I loved everything about it. However, my parents actually were not present during the previous ride. It was only me and the gondolier. But weren't you really young back then? Your parents should have let you go. Your parents shouldn't have let you go alone like that.
Well,
To be honest, I snuck out of the hotel and acted on my own. Oh, Elizabeth, you're one of those childs, huh? I was thoroughly punished for my actions when I returned. Wow, you're a lot more bold than you appear. My friends in Stephley used to tell me that quite often. That reminds me, I told a family from that town a few days ago, the Bellow